He is a tech maven from IIT Delhi, now making waves in the media world. How do we explain AI to a 6-year-old?
AI is nothing but that pattern recognition only. Every individual will have two ways to think over it. एक कि आराम से enjoy करो बैठ के, दूसरा get to the next level altogether. So maths is something which is much more important now.
Those that are not actually allowing their kids or not adapting these technologies are going to be left behind. Namaste and welcome to AI Basics, the podcast designed to mystify artificial intelligence for all of us. I'm your host, and like many of you, I've been catching this AI bug that seems to be everywhere these days. Today, we have a fascinating guest joining us. He is a tech maven from IIT Delhi, now making waves in the media world, fueled by his passion for AI. So, today, we're taking a deep dive into a topic that's probably on the minds of many parents. How is he planning to raise his kids in this age of AI? What skills does he think are crucial? And what are his concerns? How is he prepping them for a future we can barely imagine? Hi, Abhishek. Welcome to AI Basics. We're so happy to have you with us. And let's jump straight into it. So we always ask everyone, सब कोई आजकल बहुत busy है. What is the one takeaway that you want to leave with our readers?
Good morning, Sukirti. Good to be on your show. One thing that comes to the mind is which I tell to my kids, to my team, and everyone is that the first and the foremost thing is that change is coming and at a very fast pace, and everyone has to be ready for the change that is coming and has to live with that change and need to learn living with that change.
So the next question, and I'm going to jump right in. It's one a lot of us parents are thinking about. How do we explain AI to a 6-year-old?
Nice question. See, it's much difficult for us to help them understand, and it is much easier for them to to learn. I tell you how. They are learning in normal life. Also, they are learning by recognizing the patterns. And you tell them once that okay, this is a sound, and after this sound, you'll get something to eat. वो छोटे से बच्चे भी they learn it, and then the second time when they see the sound, they start feeling that it's their breakfast
Like the
time or
school bell, no?
that kind of food. So they are learning. So they are fresh and new. So for them, that pattern recognition is something with which they are learning. AI is nothing but that pattern recognition only. If you actually see it's pattern recognition and the next step prediction, that's the only thing that is happening in AI. To a 5-year-old, if they are able to just relate these two things together, they are actually able to make more sense than what we will be having a much more difficult time explaining them. They will have a much simpler time learning that. I have
I
a
to-
kid, 5-year-old, and for her to understand virtual friends or what the virtual friend will do and how it is working and when they what all questions you can ask them, उसके लिए बहुत आसान है ये चीज समझना और सीखना. हमारे लिए दिक्कत हो रही है. We have been very rigid all the years. They are just very new and fresh to the idea.
I totally agree with you. मैं भी अपने daughters को देखती हूँ because they are so absorbed in this world.
Yeah.
Them, it's not shock and awe. To us, I think it's shock and awe.
Yeah, it is shocking for us. For them, it is actually the new way of learning altogether.
Yes.
And how I see, they are actually learning at a much faster pace than we are learning. Because हमारे पूरे सिस्टम में एक पहले अनलर्न करना है और फिर लर्न करना है. एंड द अनलर्निंग इज टेकिंग अस अ लॉट मोर टाइम एंड अ लॉट मोर स्ट्रेस. तो अगर आप पेरेंट्स को देखें तो उनको ज्यादा स्ट्रेस है, बच्चों को कम स्ट्रेस है.
अब आपने एक बहुत important बात कही that the change is coming and people have to really adapt very quickly. So what are you seeing as some of the biggest changes that are happening?
See, the first thing is that जो सबके दिमाग में चल रहा है with the change that is coming in professional ecosystem, in personally, in the personal environment, in schools where the kids are learning, everyone is having a feeling कि जो AI से सारा काम तो हो ही जा रहा है, तो अब हम क्या करेंगे? That's a good thing also and it's a bad thing also because it's creating a resistance in the mind of the people also. Children, kids, they are learning and enjoying it.
Mhm.
But the people of the old age, they are not learning, they are not enjoying it. they have that constraint in mind, they have that resistance in mind कि अब हम क्या करेंगे. Now, that being the problem, the idea is that we have to understand that first we have to adapt to this change. And second, अब होगा मतलब what would happen, how I am seeing it, whatever is that repetitive job process in any job you take, where is that repetition coming in? Say for example, driving is a repetitive process technically. If you see, आपको आपको गियर लगाना है, ब्रेक दबाना है, स्टीयरिंग को मूव करना है, एंड योर ड्राइविंग इज डन, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट्स कमिंग ऑन द रोड ऑन द अदर साइड. Now that will get automated. And as of now, when we are talking, there are like robo taxi concept that's running in the whole of California, and two, three players have started coming in that region, and they are doing it successfully. So same thing will come over here also. Learning में भी यही होगा. It is actually coming. Students chat GPT से अपने courses अपने syllabus कर रहे हैं, reading learning कर रहे हैं. So the repetition job will be taken over. The new types of job will come over, and those people have to be ready for the new jobs that are coming over.
So, Abhishek, the big question, will our kids have jobs or will robots do everything? They're going to have so much leisure time that they're going to sit, and as Elon says, jobs will be optional. What are your thoughts on this?
No, Sukirti, not really. I have a very different opinion on this. Uh, See, we all have grown in the era and time where we were working more on the concept of problem solving, and that was core part of our whole skill set also. Where we were more related, it was more related to the convergent thinking process. The idea was given a problem, someone was defining the problem, and all the rest were solving that problem. With AI coming into the system, what has happened is in that problem solving process, the steps were kind more or less predefined a pattern, and then the problem was solved. Now that has been taken over by AI and will be taken over by AI. अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा initial stages हैं. We have hallucination and all those things going ahead with these models also. But over the period of time, it will get solved. And this regular problem solving process related jobs will, of course, will become obsolete. And we are seeing that trend also. But of course, there is another domain, which is the domain of creative problem solving, where you have an aspect of divergent thinking, which is a creative process, and an aspect of convergent thinking, which is problem solving. Both coming together and getting into the area where the new kids would be working more on those lines. So you have creativity also and you have problem solving also. अब उसमें क्या है, टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक, वहां पे पैटर्न रिकॉग्निशन नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज देयर इज नो हिस्ट्री एज सच. Now all those things become new things to be worked upon. Now I'll also relate this question to one more thing. See, given the AI would be able to do a lot of problems for you and solve a lot of problems for you, which is it is doing even now, every individual will have two ways to think over it. एक जो आप बता रहे हो कि आराम से एंजॉय करो बैठ के. दूसरा, गेट टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑल टुगेदर, वेयर यू आर एक्चुअली creating different problems that needs to be solved and solving them in a more in newer ways than what used to exist before. Because जो पुराना वाला है वो तो chat GPT would be able to do.
No, I like what you said. ये जो report भी आई है जो Microsoft भी, that functions that technology can handle, that AI can handle. There's no use for us humans actually to be working on it. जैसे पहले भी था, जब dishwasher आया, if it can wash the dishes, there's no need for you to do the dishes. So this is again, I think it's just the fear for us is because we're not used to it being used for intellectual jobs. हमें तक जो था mostly it was used for physical labor type of jobs. तो हम लोग सोचते थे ठीक है, it's not an issue.
That is it. क्योंकि वो नए टाइप के जॉब्स क्योंकि अभी दिख नहीं रहे हैं, तो वी आर मोर कंसर्न कि हम करेंगे क्या.
Yeah.
Not that there are new jobs that are coming up. There are innovations that is happening. There are new inventions that are happening. There's a lot more in the nature and the universe to explore than what we have around us. We are living, matlab, we are very small part of the whole universe. There are many problems to be solved.
Now let's come back to the kids. Now I'm going to ask you a very, very practical question. How much are you letting your kids use these tools? Kitna chat GPT? Can they use it for homework? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
I am allowing them all through everything you can do using ChatGPT. The idea is that again, once when you are using it, you can either just copy paste things and your work is done. Then the other way of looking at it is getting into more curious form, create more curiosity, get into more details, मतलब get और सवाल पूछो, get into more depth of the whatever your problem that you are solving, and work with it in a way where you are able to understand much more than a normal even teacher would be able to tell you. Now if they use it that ways, then it becomes a very good tool to work with. अदरवाइज इट इज जस्ट कि आपने एक सवाल दिया उसको, उसने सवाल का आंसर दे दिया, आपने उसको या तो जस्ट अपने फॉर्मेट में या उसी का फॉर्मेट कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया एंड यू आर डन. If that is happening, then it's a problem. But if it is happening the other way, then it's an interesting thing. I am actually letting my kids use it to the extent possible so that they can create their whole speeches and everything using ChatGPT. Issues भी आ रहे हैं उसमें. So my son had to give his had gone for some contest for class representative contest, and he had to give his speech. So ChatGPT से लिखवा ली and ChatGPT gave an answer कि that you can recommend that I'll allow a free period for creative thinking and all, which he went and just gave it to the class, and the teacher was not that happy with that idea. So all that is happening, but yeah, but then it is letting them to explore beyond what a normal process would help them explore in the present times. अगर आप अभी देखें तो अभी वो क्लास में जाते हैं, टीचर की भी लिमिटेड अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. If you see the teachers, they also do not know everything under the sun. Or a lot of things, if you go into the little depth, even the teachers do not know, or they do not remember also. It's not practically possible for any human being. I think ChatGPT or any other LLM, they are doing much better job over there. So why to not allow kids to use it?
Now tell us this, do you have a rule though, बस के इतने time तक आप use कर सकते हो? Because the second worry that's coming up in a lot of parents' mind is especially about screen time.
I think there are two parts to it. One is interaction with ChatGPT or these LLMs, and second is the screen time which is impacting your eyes. वो जो सेकंड वाला है वो थोड़ा सा वरीसम है. फर्स्ट वाला, आई एम ऑफ द व्यू दैट इफ दे हैव एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द रियल वर्ल्ड एंड द वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड डिफरेंस, then it is better to have them that exposure so that they can actually learn what is happening in the world, which is far beyond the limited world they can physically experience.
Are
Yeah,
there
yeah.
guardrails that you're setting up? Any guardrails, any cautions, any settings that you're putting so that you know that they're in a safe playground? क्योंकि काफी डर है, especially जब
No,
मैंने इलॉन के ये नए अवतार्स देखे, ये तो
yeah.
मैं भी थोड़ी हिल गई.
So इसमें ना Sukirti, I am keeping a watch on what they are playing with and keeping a guard over there. So I'll give you an example. My 5-year-old kid, she got very interested in this app, Character.ai app. And
Lot
those
was
are
very
like,
interested in it. It's fun.
it's fun. And kids like it a lot. You can talk to Peppa Pig or you can talk to Elsa and what all other avatars they have created or cartoon characters they have created. You can talk to any one of them. You can talk to Napoleon or Mahatma Gandhi and all. But there is a problem also. I think if you have heard character.ai की वजह से there was some suicide that happened
Yes, last year.
last year, which was a concern. So I am keeping a close watch on कि कौन से tools use कर रहे हैं और उस टूल्स के साथ कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं, एंड ऑल्सो हैविंग दैट ऑफ टाइम.
Hmm.
15 दिन चलाया, फिर 15 दिन ऑफ कर दिया
Oh,
सो
that's
दैट
very
लगता ना
interesting.
लगे. तो
हाँ.
माई 5-year-old किड, शी कीप्स कमिंग बैक टू मी एवरी 10 days कि वो ठीक हो गया क्या. ही हैज नो आइडिया कि वो ऐप तो अवेलेबल है प्ले स्टोर पे, हम कभी भी जाके उसको मतलब डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. So this is how I am keeping a control on things. Same as with Chat GPT and other thing which my other kid is working on. So he is very much with roadblocks.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah, all other kids are.
Roblox, a lot of it's a lot of a big addiction is coming over there also. So I expose them also, and then I switch it off also for a week or so. Now that is helping them get to exposure to this system also, stay connected with this system also, and at the same time also ensure that they are able to realize that there is a real world also. For some time when I found my kid, my elder kid, he was even not willing to go out and play around with his friends around 5-6 p.m., which is a concerning thing. तो मैंने फिर ये सारे डिजिटल जितने भी स्क्रीन्स हैं ये सब छुपा ही दिए. So that is the way to get them to get these things off also.
Yeah, I take the iPads away. I said that this is the time I just keep them in my room, and you can have it for 1 hour a day. You can do whatever you want.
So
But
I do a little different way. मैं महीने भर के लिए छुपा देता हूँ.
acha, oh wow.
तो अगर आपका टीवी है, सो आई हैव अ टीवी, तो उसका रिमोट कंट्रोल छुपा दिया एक महीने के लिए, एंड दे कीप कमिंग. बिकॉज द आइडिया इज कि वो हर दिन अगर आप एक 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 घंटे दोगे तो भी वो आदत लगी रहती है.
This is a
और
very good idea.
अगर आप 15-20 दिन के लिए हटा दोगे तो वो एडिक्शन नहीं होता है. एंड देन दे कैन अगेन हैव इट, एंड देन दे ऑल्सो गेट द फीलिंग कि अच्छा ठीक है, 15 दिन के बाद एकदम से हट जाएगा.
Ah,
That is what I'm doing, I'm trying to do, so that the addiction does not come, but at the same time exposure is very much important. तो लैपटॉप पे मैंने एक्सपोजर पूरा दे रखा है फॉर 2 hours एवरी डे.
now I'm going to ask you two questions. देखो हम लोग तो Indian parents हैं तो math obsessed है, right? We want our kids to be in the Olympiads, but now we are seeing that भैया Google भी आ रहा है Olympiad में, ChatGPT भी enter कर रहा है. They are actually winning gold. They're answering 5 out of the 6 problems. So where is this focus on math? Is that important? And the second question that we are very, very obsessed with is coding. That our kids should learn how to code, how to be digitally relevant. What are your thoughts on these two big trends जो काफी change हो रहे हैं?
ग्रेट क्वेश्चन सुकीर्ति. ये तो आप किड्स के लिए पूछ रहे हो, ये ग्रोन अप्स भी पूछ रहे हैं. एंड माय टीम देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु आर आस्किंग दिस. I'll share my viewpoint how I am getting this, how I am understand this. So maths is something which is much more important now. अगर आप देखो तो पहले एक बहुत एक एक जोक आता था कि हमने इंटीग्रल सीखी है, हमने डिफरेंशियल सीखी है, हमने साइन थीटा कॉस थीटा सीखा है, अब इसको कहाँ लगाएं? एक्सेल में लगाएं, बिजनेस प्लान में लगाएं, कहाँ लगाएं? AI is eventually it's not nothing, it's a next word prediction for the text and next action prediction for anything that we are talking about. So now this is the time to learn actual maths and then implement it for all these AI tools. और दूसरा, कम्युनिकेशन बहुत अच्छे से आना चाहिए इन द लैंग्वेजेस दैट यू आर रीडिंग. सेकेंड कम्स द कोडिंग. नाउ सी, कोडिंग इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डोमेन. लास्ट 20 years हम लोग कोडिंग इक्वल टू टेक्नोलॉजी समझते थे. वो कभी ऐसा नहीं था. कोडिंग इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट थिंग, टेक्नोलॉजी इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट थिंग, एंड आई थिंक इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट to appreciate that aspect that coding is different from technology. Now, with the new changes in these generative models that are coming up, and like all these Copilot and Windsurf and
GitHub.
so I'll give you an example. There are apps that can translate from one language to another language, English to German or
And
Hindi to English.
ChatGPT does it beautifully too.
Right. एंड देयर वाज अ न्यूज सम टाइम बैक ऑल्सो जहाँ पे वो चैट जीपीटी ने कन्नडा के किसी कोई कोई टैक्सी ड्राइवर था उसके साथ नेगोशिएट कराया था बैंगलोर में, एंड देन द नेगोशिएशन हैपेंड यूजिंग चैट जीपीटी बिकॉज the person did not know Kannada and the driver was Kannada, and then that interaction happened via chat GPT and negotiation was done. Now, why I'm relating to that is the way there is a translation that can happen between your language and any other language is the same way now the translation can happen between your language, which is Hindi or English or whatever, and the coding language.
No,
So
I've been loving it because I mean, I have been making code because it's so simple. You know, you write 4 or 5 lines and boom. And it's really good because जो आपका जो specific app है, अब आप वो कर सकते हो. You don't have to go looking for that $10 app or
yeah.
that 10 rupee app.
One more thing I'll add to it. It's still in initial stages. It's not even 10 years we have seen this whole technology. Imagine 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Then take your decisions. I was taking a course on Stanford from a professor, and this is like 2024. I was just reading to his introductory lecture. You know what he said? He introduced saying कि there was one course that the same course he taught it in 2021, and the syllabus that he was teaching at that time is age old now.
Yeah. I would believe
He
that.
himself said it was 2021 and age old, which normally for 10 years 15 years तो कोर्स का कंटेंट या सिलेबस थोड़ा बहुत चेंज हो जाता है सिलेबस.
तो नाउ अब तो यू ब्रॉट इट बैक टू वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हमारा सीबीएसई का सिलेबस ये भी एज ओल्ड हो गया है
Yeah.
सो व्हाट अबाउट द लर्निंग दैट आवर किड्स आर गेटिंग इन स्कूल आर दे गेटिंग एज ओल्ड लर्निंग नाउ
Actually, it is age old now. That is also age old. We'll have to see either we accept it and move to the new standards, or we keep on questioning this. If my child takes the learning from ChatGPT and goes to the class, and he knows he has an in-depth understanding of that concept, and he starts discussing with the teacher herself does not have that understanding beyond a point. Practically possible भी नहीं है उनके लिए भी.
नहीं बट एक तो इंडिया में एक और बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है आप सीबीएसई एग्जाम में आपने जो बुक में लिखा था वो नहीं लिख के आए तो मतलब आपका तो आंसर ही
हाँ,
रॉन्ग
वो एक अलग प्रॉब्लम है. Again, I'm coming to that idea of convergent and divergent thinking. That's the convergent process में आपको एक आंसर दिया हुआ है, आपको यही लिखना है.
हाँ
Divergent वाले प्रोसेस में तो you can have n number of answers to a given question. Now the problem statement is actually on the teacher side or the evaluator side कि वो इतने divergent answers आएंगे तो उसका evaluate कैसे करें. Over there also the chat GPT can do much good job. The whole learning system has to change. The teachers and evaluators, they have to come to the new normal of learning process. uh, it's not easy thing to do. It's very difficult. How it would be done, I don't know. But what I know is if you do it, then you are moving to the next level. If you don't do it, then you are stuck at this level only.
No, what you're saying is what's reminding me what Sam Altman just said. He said, "We are in a globally competitive world." अब हम नहीं कर रहे हैं ये आप कंपटीशन अपने स्कूल के बच्चों के साथ नहीं कर रहे and those that are not actually allowing their kids or not adapting these technologies are going to be left behind. He said it very clearly.
I was about to give you example from China only where I saw like they are integrating it like so aggressively. I was just reading about their new that model has come now. Their model that they launched in early December 2024. They are integrating it all across into their ecosystem. The
You
deep
know,
sea.
we need to be faster at that. I do agree. Now, let's come back to these models and stuff because I have an issue क्योंकि मैं तो काफी यूज करती हूँ, but there's a lot of factual misrepresentation, right? And for kids, they take it like the Holy Bible. If
Yeah.
I tell my kid, भैया ये नहीं सही है, वो कहते हैं, how do you know? Chat GPT ने तो यही कहा था. Chat GPT said so. Google said so. You know, so you're racking your head when you know something is correct, right? But you now need to prove it to these kids also. And the fact is that these models, because they're predictive, sometimes they do not give the right answer. So, how do you kind of sort that out in your mind?
No, good number of times they are not giving the right answer. वो आप ही का एक आपने नया ओलंपियाड वाला जो एक आपका वीडियो देखा मैंने, like 75 and 67 what it was.
Ah,
So it's a problem. Of course, it there are teams that are working to solve that problem across different companies. It's a big problem right now. again, I will say that the the problem is not that it's hallucinating. The problem is that we have never been ready to accept that there are different views that may come and एक view गलत ही होगा,
हाँ,
कुछ भी गलत हो सकता है.
हाँ,
What you see is not what is right, or what ChatGPT is saying is not what is right. So that is the learning that we have to give to the kids कि अगर ChatGPT भी कह रहा है तो वो सही नहीं है.
हाँ.
You have to go and recheck on Claude also, then Google also, and then do some your own research also, and do go to some authentic websites like some specific website of that particular thing and see check it there also, which is okay with these kids if you tell them.
Yes, I think
They
we
get
need to
into that
start teaching
learning.
them this digital literacy. Okay, मतलब just don't take it as a given. ना?
So ये पहले हम लोग, because we had limited sources, so we were in that era of like accepting what is coming as Google coming up and giving some answer, you accept it. Even in Google also search के results अलग थे, and now Google Gemini also, it's also doing a lot of hallucination.
Yes, too much.
Too much. So all these LLMs are doing that learning, and these kids, they know it very well. मतलब if you make them learn, they know that hallucination हो रहा होगा.
हाँ.
What you see may not be right, but what you see or what you are just listening from ChatGPT or learning from ChatGPT may not be right. You need to recheck it.
Yes, so we
And
have to teach our kids to be smart with these tools.
to ourselves also.
Yeah, more so. Now that we've talked a lot about the tech world, what is the non-tech skill? You've talked about communication. What
Yeah.
other non-tech skill are you feeding
I
into
think I think the two or three most important non-tech skills. The first is resilience and adaptability.
Yes.
That is very much required for anyone now, for kids also, because change will come any day. Now comes the second point. The second point is motivation to learn. You were saying earlier also कि there's some reference कि everything ChatGPT will do and you can just sip your juice. Now, if you have that motivation and curiosity, you will start solving the next set of problem statements. You will start exploring next set of problem statements and then solve it, which which does not exist in the normal structure which any pattern recognition concept via ChatGPT or any other LLM can be solved. If you have that, then you will have a job at any point of time, and anyone will have that. And so learning अगर आप करते रहेंगे तो it is something that will keep you evolved also, stay up to date also, and you'll have n number of other things to work on beyond what these models or robots even 10 years or 15 years or 20 years down the line will be able to do. I would want to give a reference of this book AI 2041 जो मैंने
Oh, it's
आप
a brilliant book. Thank you for having me read it.
yeah.
Eye-opening.
It's eye opening, right? And it has shared n number of 10, I think 10 use cases where it is showing like what chat gpt or what these robots or this technology would be able to do. So that becomes second thing. Third thing, which is uh, equally important, is communication and empathy, because human relations will take a much bigger share of your whole life as compared to what it used to be.
Or
अभी
is
तक
that
हम
the opposite, Abhishek? Because now they're conversing with these robots or these bots. And I find that they're going to struggle with human relationship because the bot is always answering according to them.
हाँ, तो वो सुकृति एक एस्पेक्ट है जहां पे आप बॉट से काम करा रहे हो, वो तो बॉट काम कर दे रहा है आपका. बट व्हाट बियॉन्ड दैट.
No, but ये लोग तो bots के साथ friendship भी कर रहे हैं, सारे
हाँ, कर
questions
रहे हैं,
पूछ रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल
They're
बिल्कुल.
asking their life questions. Should I take this job? And it goes to a bot.
सो दिस इज वन पार्ट ऑफ इट. द अदर पार्ट इज जहां पे आप वैल्यू क्रिएट करना शुरू करोगे, दैट वुड बी ह्यूमन रिलेशंस. तो वो ये वाला पार्ट में तो वैल्यू बॉट कर देगा. एंड
हाँ,
एज वी आर टॉकिंग, I shared with you earlier also, like a friend of mine who was giving an interview, and there was an AI agent alongside a human interviewer who was evaluating her. And if the AI agent rejects the candidate, the candidate would actually get rejected.
yeah.
Things have come to that level. But then there is a human relation aspect on which जहाँ पे वो नए opportunities खुलेंगे. That is
It's
what
on
the new
those
area
human skills वही लोग कह रहे हैं
is.
अब I think we've gotten too used to thinking our human skills were what was typing or coding or writing and now we have to figure out maybe what are this new set of
Yeah,
human skills that makes us truly different from a machine.
yeah. So these are the three, I would say, non tech skills plus creative problem solving. That becomes a core part because वो normal problem solving अगर हम करेंगे तो वो तो फिर will be taken by these robots.
Now our last question, अभिषेक, आपको एक फ्यूचर किट डिजाइन करना है पेरेंट्स के लिए और आप सिर्फ उसमें तीन चीजें डाल सकते हैं. What would be those three things you would give to parents in that kit?
ये थोड़ा सा मुश्किल सवाल है. I would say when you say kid, you are saying the skills that they should teach their students.
Skills, tools, whatever comes to your mind. I would tell you I would give them ChatGPT, I would give them GitHub, and I would give them a library.
I would give them one. Uh, One is focus on maths, which
Yes.
is very critical and important. Second, which I would say, and which I'm pushing my elder kid also aggressively, and my younger also, is reading habit.
Yes.
Now that becomes much more important, and that is where your divergent thinking and creative problem solving aspects would come over. The third one I would say is, of course, for now, it is Chat GPT only. Plus,
It's a
that
all in one.
all in one. And I am always of the view, Sukiti, one more thing, which I said to my team also. See, there are tools that will take you from 0 to 80 on this scale of your problem solutions. And then there would be other tools that will be coming that will take you from 80 to 90 or 80 to 95 or 80 to 98. I am of the opinion that if you are able to come from 0 to 80, come to that 0 to 80 and then try to explore n number of possibilities once you are on 80,
Yes.
rather than focusing on one and trying to reach from 80 to 90 or 80 to 95 on one. And chat, too far, to the extent I have seen till now, I think chat GPT is doing quite a good job for now.
हाँ, it's a good all-rounder. मेरे को भी
Yeah.
लगता है कि मतलब maybe it's not the best coder, but I don't need the best coder. Maybe, but so you have to kind of balance that. At least you understand how to operate that too.
and and the paid version of it. The
Yes, of
version
course.
like the
That is
paid.
a very, very big point. And I need to emphasize this, and you're also emphasizing it. भैया वो $20 खर्च कर लो.
वो नो वो तो नो ब्रेनर काइंड ऑफ है. $20 का वो खर्चा है. This is that should be done. एंड देन इट गिव्स एम्पल अपॉर्चुनिटीज टू योर किड कि अगर उनको यही पूछना है कि अच्छा मैं किस टूल से ये वाला काम करूं या किस चीज से ये वाली प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करूं, तो वो अगर खुद नहीं कर रहा होगा तो वो बता देगा ये टूल यूज कर लो और
Yes.
ऐसे ऐसे स्टेप्स यूज कर लो. सो इट गिव्स अ न्यू वे ऑफ लर्निंग ऑल टुगेदर beyond our whole standard learning process that we have over here in the ecosystem right now.
Well, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today on AI Basics. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. So, thank you for demystifying this world for us.
Thank you for having me, Sakirti. Best wishes for your channel.